Okay, right. Welcome, Fifi from Vuma, Human Capital Executive. Thank you so much for joining us at the Future EX today. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Sally. I'm excited about this.
Great. We're going to dive right in, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about your view, and I'm excited to have you share your thoughts with us. So if you're ready, let's get started.
Yep, I am.
Great. So tell me a little bit about you. Where are you from? Where did you start? A little bit about the background of Fifi.
I am from the Eastern Cape, a small rural town called Kumango, all the way in Englobo, which is about, give or take, 60 kilometers from Mthatha. Most people know Mthatha, but it's in the old Transkei. I came to Joburg in the mid-90s to study my tertiary, and obviously because I'm in HR, I studied HR. So that's where that's who I am.
And what was your dream career when you grew up? What did you want to do? Was it always HR?
No, actually, initially it was psychology, and then I wanted to be a lawyer because one of my mom's brothers, my uncle, was a lawyer, and I thought that was a cool career. And obviously, I mean, he would wear those robes, and I think, oh, that's what I want to do. But then as I grew older, I wanted to be a psychologist because I thought and I mean, I think I liked the idea of connecting with people. But then when I applied and I was accepted into psychology, but I had to do like a course for me there was a waiting period. So I was like, oh no, I can do like a course in between and then get into psychology. And then one of the ladies said, if you wanted to do industrial psychology, if you wanted to do psychology clinical, but your second choice was industrial, another option is for you to go and do HR. I was like, oh, what's that? And then she unpacked it for me, and I was like, yeah, that's generally what I like to do. So then I went and I did HR, and I loved it. I have never turned back. I'm also grateful that I didn't go into clinical psychology, but yeah, no, that's what I'm doing now, HR.
And so it's always kind of been about helping and connecting with other people, hey?
Yes, it always has been.
Except you don't have the robes in HR. We could introduce that though, potentially as a thing. I could start a chain.
Oh yes, definitely a robe that would be the thing.
Yeah. And so what would you say, was there a specific person or somebody that inspired you to reach for the stars and to really go to change people's lives?
Yeah, my grandmother was a matriarch, and she was, I think she was one of the most powerful people that I'd ever come across. And growing up, she was my role model because my mom passed away when I was quite young. I wasn't really young. I was doing my first year in tertiary, and my siblings and I then didn't have a parent, and I also wanted to be a role model to my siblings. So that was basically what has inspired me, that has made me kind of go the extra mile, do much more than that maybe even what was expected of me, because I wanted my siblings to kind of see that there's an opportunity, whether you come from a small rural area in the Eastern Cape or you come from an accomplished family, there's always an opportunity for you to kind of go out there, do what is important, and maybe achieve it. And my grandmother kind of always used to kind of motivate us and say, there is nothing you can't do. And I was like, really? I don't think so, but yeah, if you say so. But as I grew older, I then also realized the importance of always reassuring yourself that, yes, I can do this, and put in the hard work, because you can't just be lying there and saying, yeah, I can do this and do nothing about it. So it was a combination for me of my grandmother making sure that I was also a role model for my siblings and the people and the community that I came from.
Wow, that's so cool. She sounds like an awesome lady.
She was amazing.
And would you say that there was a specific or definitive turning point in your career?
I wouldn't quite say there was a definitive one, but I think I started in HR as a junior. So I had to learn the basics from when I started working. And I think if you study a degree or a field, and then you start working in that field from the lower levels, you then start to grasp the things that you are taught in tertiary and university. And for me, it was understanding and being able to apply what has been taught. But then when you get into the working world, as a junior, that's what you do, you apply. But as a senior, that application then is around your experience. And experience teaches you how to deal with individual circumstances, how to change people's minds, because obviously HR is a thankless job. No one thanks HR except for people that they get their salaries. But it's one of those roles where you have to do it because you're passionate about it, and also because you can see that the work that you're doing is making a difference. So on a daily basis, I don't think I can say now. I mean, I'm at that stage where I've said I have made it in HR. No, every day I strive to be better than what I was last year, what I was yesterday, but also making sure that the people that I work with, which in our case as HR are the employees, that they have an amazing experience all the time. And yeah, that's what my career is about, and that's what I strive to achieve all the time.
Sure, so
Still, it's an everyday change. I can't say, yeah, today we've made it. No, there's still an opportunity for us to do it better.
So, I mean, I think you kind of answered. So that is what's driving you today, is just to make it better in an iterative process every single day for everyone that you work with. That's quite a task.
Yes, and also I work for a business that is in ICT, and we are working at changing the lives of South Africans every day. So imagine, as an employee of Vuma, your experience, your employee experience is linked directly to the experience we give to our customers. So it's so important that they are having an amazing time as employees of Vuma.